Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is part two. Part two of my suggestions for those who may have to find themselves in harm's way. And this one's dedicated to all the people in Ukraine that are fighting to save their country and fighting against a tyrannical ruler in Russia. Dictator Putin, Vladimir Putin. Got nothing but love for all the people in Ukraine defending their country. Nothing but love for them. They have earned my respect. They are some badass people. They're some soldiers. They're up against the second greatest army in the world. You know what I mean? And they're fighting guerrilla warfare and they're holding them off. I love them. I love them. You gotta love that. If it was up to me, I would let them join NATO. Because that's the kind of country I'd want to be in NATO. A country of people that stand up for what they believe and they know how to unite together against a common enemy. I like that. You know, who cares if they don't have a whole bunch of weapons or whatever, you know what I mean? And a large military or whatever. Their people are their military. They rock. Ukrainians rock. I say let them join NATO. But anyway, these are these are my cold steels and 80-20.5, 180-20.5. And why is that in here? It's not a cold steel. Well, all these knives were made by Andrew Demko. Every one of these is an Andrew Demko design. That's why. Except for Phil Bogaczewski. He's the one that designed the Ti-Lite. That's the only one in this whole group of knives right here that wasn't designed by Andrew Demko. The late great Phil Bogaczewski. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I don't know. He's the one that designed the Ti-Lite. Go look him up. You'll see him. You see this one. This one was originally a custom knife that cost like about $1,200 or $1,500, and you can still get them for that. That's made pretty much just like these are made, just like the Ti-Lites are made. Go check it out. All I gotta say is go check it out. It's interesting. Okay, but let's start off with this one too, though, since we started talking about it first, huh? I have always loved the Ti-Lites. The Ti-Lites were the knives that turned me on to cold steel. The reason why I even own any cold steels is because of this knife. And not this knife in particular, but in 2001, I think it was, they came out with a Ti-Lite folder, and it was a titanium handled knife with a titanium leaf spring, and I think it had the Oz 8 blade, but I have one of those too. I have the original one, and that's the reason why let's call it Ti-Lite. It's because the original ones were made out of titanium. They had fully titanium handles. And then when they came out with the Ti-Lite 6, it didn't have titanium handles. They came out with the 6 with the Grivery, or what they called it, Zytel handles, and they also had one with the 7075 aluminum handles. Those had Oz 8 blades. This one came out later, but this is the fully tactical one. CTS-XHP, DLC coated. Full G10 handle except for the stainless steel leaf spring. Folded over stainless steel leaf spring. The rest of the handle is totally G10. Absolutely love this one. It's like, I think it's 6.8 ounces or 7 ounces, something right around there. So also the lightest type Ti-Lite. You know, I'm going to fold these up. Well, let's leave them out. Let's leave them out, huh? Because I got a lot of knives on this table. Okay. Let's see. Let's start off from this end. Recon 1s. This is the big Recon 1. 5.5 inch. Highly recommend these for soldiers. This would probably be my #1 knife I would recommend for soldiers. Or people that are going into combat and are in harm's way. Why? It's super simple. All it has is bronze phosphor washers and Teflon washers. Teflon washers against the blade tang, the bronze phosphor washers against the Teflon washer and the G10 handle scale. There's no stainless steel liners or nothing. There's no metal liners or anything in here. There's nothing really to rot or rust. These are super tough. This American G10 has extremely high tensile strength. It's extremely strong. In all the testing that Cold Steel ever did with these, the handles never broke. Always the blades broke. The handles never broke. Andrew Demko says that the American G10 that Cold Steel uses is his favorite handle material. It has super strong tensile strength, stronger than steel usually, if it has a proper thickness to it. Awesome. And it keeps the knife light, as opposed to having handle scales and stainless steel liners. Can make this knife weigh a lot more. These are fairly light for their size. They weigh just a little bit over 8 ounces if I remember right. Very nice. 4mm thick blade. This one's hollow ground with the flat ground or chisel ground American Tonto point. Very strong tip and point. This knife won't fall apart on you in some serious combat. It's got the triad lock. Basically, it's like a folding fixed blade. Ambidextrous thumb studs. The pocket clip would be flipped to either side. This one's the OD green version. CTS-XHP stainless steel. This would be my #1 recommended choice for soldiers that are going in the field. And you can get these in 3 different blade types. They have a spear point, a clip point, and I like the Tontos. All of mine are Tontos. Well, I have the other blade types too, but most of those are like an Oz-8 steel, because like when I first started collecting, they were only made in Oz-8 when they first came out. And I got all the different blade types, and I decided I like the Tonto blade type the best. And so the ones I bought after that are pretty much all Tontos. Same thing goes for my Voyager collection too. Next one up. This is the large size. The other one previously is an XL. This one's a large, 4-inch blade. Recon 1, same features, hollow point blade and a chisel point or flat ground tip. Saber ground blade. This one's 3.5mm thick. This one has the wave feature on it from Snaggletooth. It also has the ring on it from Snaggletooth, so it's slightly modified. These are the ones I've carried the most. Pretty much all of these knives I've carried, except for, we even carried this one a couple of times. All these knives have been used a lot. Yep, every one of them has. Every one of these I've carried, one time or another. All right, here we go. Next one. This is the same thing. Only this one's all stock. This one's all stock. CTS-XHP. All these are CTS-XHP except for this one. This is the new one. It's S35VN. All the rest of these knives are all CTS-XHP, except for this one too. Both of these are Oz 10A. The two 4MAX Scouts. Love it. Love it. Beautiful knives. Absolutely love these. This is another one that I highly recommend for soldiers. Why? Because it's super lightweight and it's very strong. This is not like the Range Boss or the Ranch Boss, whatever they call it, the new one. This is one that has American G10 handle scales that Cold Steel used to use. It's very rigid. It doesn't give at all. There's no flex at all in this handle. This has a CTS-XHP blade. I think they made these in S35VN also. All of mine are CTS-XHP. Absolutely love it. The blade is a little bit over 4 inches, and it also has a 3.5 millimeter on blade thickness. It's a very nice knife. AK-47. We're getting into classic Cold Steels now that I used to carry back in the day. I haven't carried AKs in a long time. I used to carry these all the time. I always loved the grip. The way it grips your hand. Sort of feels like a Spartan. 3.5 inch blade. American G10. CTS-XHP. DLC coated. All these knives are DLC coated. That's one thing they do have all in common. They're all DLC coated. And all of them have American G10 handle scales except for these two and this one. All the rest of them are American G10. Okay, we already did the Ti-Lite. We'll go on to the black one. Oh, wait a minute, no, we didn't do, wait a minute, hold on, we didn't do the Scout. This is my DLT Trading Scout. I think you can still get these. And I bought another one and got a regular one and made this one. But this was my collector one. I just want to show you what they look like stock. Tactical finishes. Excellent knives. I love the 4Maxes, but they're too heavy for me to want to EDC. And if I was going to combat, I think I'd pick something lighter. Because if you're carrying a 60-pound pack and your weapon and ammunition and whatever else you might be wanting to carry, you know, that can get real heavy real quick, especially if you're like, you know, on the 10-mile hike. So, I know everybody likes these big old heavy things, but I sort of wonder if that is, you know, I don't know if it would be my first choice. I think I was going to carry something this heavy, I would carry a fixed blade. I know this is super strong like a fixed blade, probably just as strong as a fixed blade, but I would still like to have a fixed blade and a folder. That'd be the way I'd roll, you know, for my cutting tools. I'd have a fixed blade and a folder if I was going into combat. My folder would be more like for utility purposes and for backup emergency purposes, but it wouldn't be a primary tool for a weapon. It would be, its main purpose would be like whatever the cutting task I need to do, but it also can be whatever it needs to be too, because if I'm going to the field, I want my second, you know, not my second, but my secondary knife, I want it to be something that is not just a utility tool, but it can also be a self-defense tool. It could also be, you know, I don't know, do whatever it needs to do, you know, make tent stakes or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever it needs to do, open up cans so I could get something to eat, you know, whatever it needs to do. That's why I'd want that one to be. And that would have to be a fairly tough knife. So I wouldn't take a weak knife into the field, you know, I don't know, that's just me. But I wouldn't take something that's overly built like this too, where it's too heavy. My speed would be the Recons. The ones I recommend the most are the Recons. The Recons, the AK-47, you know, and the Tau Wars and the holdouts. Those and the Espadas too. I like the Espadas and the Lawmen. Those would be more along my speed that I'd want to take in be carrying with me. But anyway, let's get on with it. This is the blacked out one I made. These have high saber ground blades. They're full flat ground, high saber ground blades. I think these are 4.8 millimeters thick. So they're super thick. Super thick and very heavy. And I'm pretty sure it's over 10 ounces they weigh. You know, just like the heavy Adamas, the D2 Adamas, and the S.O.G Seal. You know, these are all super heavy duty, heavyweight knives, and extremely capable. This one's been tuned by me, so it's like super smooth. It has lube and grease and everything inside of it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Heavy knife. Absolutely love it. Beautiful knives. The 4-Max. The 4-Max. Okay, next up. The Assassin. That's why I always think of my knives. I always think of the ones that are all blacked out. To me, they're like special forces. And the ones that are OD, that's regular army. That's the way I sort of look at these. So I got a lot of special forces knives. Look. I just think the all blacked out ones are the ones that you can hide the best. A lot of these knives are knives in this group of these cold steels, as opposed to like the other knives I showed you. All these knives have been carried. All these knives are used. And I've carried them on motorcycle trips and different things like that. And lots of my big knives, when I go on a motorcycle trip, I like to carry something that's like really dark and you can't really see it that well. Because I don't want people noticing things. I don't know, that's just me. That's just me. And then for like my regular pocket knife, I might carry something kind of shiny. But it wouldn't be so big though. But these are like, as you all know, I like to carry these things inside my vest, inside my leather vest. I would carry this inside my leather vest too. My pocket knives I carry in my front right pocket would be like this Tau War right here, or the Espadas. I absolutely love these. 4mm thick, hollow ground blade, chisel ground tip, flat ground tip, saber ground blade. Well, not saber ground. I'm sorry. It's a hollow ground blade with a, what do you call it? It's a high, low hollow, mid hollow ground, Nice big finger groove. Protects your fingers from sliding forward. The grip on these is awesome. This is the old ones with the real grippy G10 that will tear up your pants. But you won't lose it. This knife you will not lose. This will not fall out your pants. Unless you rip the pocket off or something. But these will stay clipped to your pants. That's one thing I like about them, because I ride motorcycles and I have lost knives before on motorcycles because they didn't have good pocket clips. So I always pay attention to that. That's one thing I always pay attention to. Is the pocket clips. You know, what kind of retention they have. This is a black one. This is just a regular one. CTS-XHP. These were pretty much sort of like right-handed knives. You had to flip the, they call it the thumb stud around if you're a lefty. But you also can, you know, it's all set up where you can flip the pocket clips. That's how pretty much all these are. Except for the Ti-Lite. Yeah, the Ti-Lite you can't move around. This is the new one, and you can see the difference in the grips. This one has a smoother grip. This is the old school grip. This is the new one that I got for my birthday recently. I put the snaggletooth piece on it. I use the stock. I use the stock thumb stud on this one, as opposed to using like the old thumb stud. I mean the thumb stud that comes with the kit. I don't know if you can see the difference in the thumb studs. This one's not that comfortable to use. I like the one that the knife originally came with. That's the old school Mini Tonto 3.5 millimeter blade CTS-XHP. They didn't use now they're using the Oz 10A with GFN handles or Grivery handles. This is American G10, first quality American G10 that Cold Steel's always used, and CTS-XHP stainless steel. How come they don't make them like this anymore? You know, I can understand making budget knives, but you also need to make the high-end knives too. You know, the top-end ones with the best steels and the best materials. That's the way I feel. You know, give people a choice. Not everybody wants a budget knife. So a lot of people like, you know, better materials. Because they won't have to resharpen the knife all the time. Or maybe they're not good at sharpening the knife, so they need something that holds a better edge. And G10 just feels better than Grivery. And it's a lot stronger. It's probably like, you know, I don't know, like 70 times stronger. I mean, G10 is a lot stronger than Grivery. It's like night and day. AK-47. Murdered out AK-47. Same thing as the other one. This one's just got the black handle scales. G10 handle scales. Hollow ground blade. CTS-XHP. This is a mini AK. These are awesome little knives. That's the reason why I buy them out here, because sometimes people want to carry, you know, like maybe a big knife and something that's really just a really little small utility knife that doesn't weigh anything. This wouldn't add any weight to everything that you're carrying. That's one thing that's cool about it. And it is a strong little utility knife, and it could be a self-defense folder too if it need be. Awesome. One of my all-time favorites. This is one of my most carried knives on this table. I don't think there's anything I carried more than this one. This one I carried probably for almost like 5 or 6 years straight. It used to be my work knife before the 80-20s and all these new flippers and everything moved into my house. This used to be my go-to. And then before this one, I used to carry the Oz 8 version. American Lawman, CTS-XHP. And I also have these in S35, I have a couple S35VN ones, and I don't know, about 3 or 4 Oz 8 ones. This is my only mini Lawman. I got at the same time I got the large Lawman. And I carry them together. This is my letter opener when I go to the P.O. box. Absolutely love it. I've had it for a lot of years now. The thing I like about it, you know, it's all G10 and with CTS-XHP, DLC coated, but this has awesome grip. They should make these again. I don't know why, you know, Cold Steel stopped making all the good knives. I don't know. I know maybe they weren't selling. Maybe that's it. You know, it's marketing all the time. Everything's all about money all the time. Okay, now we're going to get into some of my favorite big ones of all time. My favorite big one of all time is the Tau War. Now, they never made this Tau War. I had to swap parts with it, because this one originally had the green handles just like this. And I swapped parts with one that had the black handles. That's how I got it all blacked out version. Love the Tau War. Tau War is awesome. Super lightweight. This is like, it feels like a feather in your hand, because as long as it balances out, and so it doesn't feel like it weighs that much at all. And it only weighs like 7.8 ounces, 8 ounces, right around there. That's an awesome weight for such a big knife, because then it's really fast in hand. Absolutely love it. The Tau War. And when I carry a Tau War, you know, I'm on the motorcycle, this would be my front right pocket, and this will be in my vest. I'll carry one of these in my vest. And I have a bunch of Tau Wars and a bunch of holdouts. I have them in all the different steels. And the ones I carry all the time are usually the one that I like to carry the new one and the new holdout now. Those are the ones I carry, the S35VN ones. The GSM ones. Those are the ones I carry now. As a matter of fact, but this is the holdout I carry now. This is my GSM one. This one is in my cold steel rotation drawer. That one doesn't go in the safe. That's a worker. Just like this Tau War. This is the working Tau War. That's my new Tau War from GSM, cold steel. See the new markings on it? Yep, it has new markings. Absolutely love them. All right. And I'll hold off on this one until we get to that one. But I absolutely love the Tau War. The Tau War's always been one of my favorites, and I've always carried them in pairs like this. And the other one I will carry with my holdout will be the Espada. This is my other favorite. This is the second favorite to the Tau War for folding fighters. Big folding fighters. The Espada. I love the Espada. To me, the Espada is more heavy duty than the Tau War, and it weighs a little bit more. So the balance, I mean, it has perfect balance and everything, but it just feels a little bit heavier in hand, so it's not as fast. But it's still fast. Don't get me wrong, this is still a fast knife. Absolutely love it. And I also have one of these in green too, you know, with the black and green, but I didn't have room for it on the table because I wanted to bring out all my black and green ones too, but didn't have room for this one. It's too big. All right. Absolutely love it. This has a high saber ground. It's a flat ground blade, high saber ground blade. The original ones had hollow ground blades. My Oz 8 one has a hollow ground blade. On this type of knife, though, I sort of like this, the way that they did it on these with the saber ground. This is the one I carry. This is one that gets used. It's been all polished. It's been all set up so it opens and closes like butter. Yes, you can make these fidgety too. They're not as fidgety as like the small knives I like to play with all the time. But these are fidgeters too. I always fidget it with these too. Absolutely love them. Alright, that's it for that. This is the small Espada. This one got carried, it's been carried a lot too. It's always been one of my favorite knives to carry. And this one, I have an Oz 8 one too that I always carry that's all polished. That one pretty much stays in my leather jacket for my motorcycle. Leather jacket. Just stays in the jacket. Absolutely love them. It's got the hollow ground blade, CTS-XHP, DLC coated, American G10 handle skills. Let's do this one last. And this is my 4-inch Tau War. This is the one I wish they would bring back. This is the one I probably carry the most. The one that I carry the most, you know, you guys have seen it before. I don't need to find it and pull it out. But the one I've always carried the most is my Oz 10 one. Oz 10 one with the Oz 10 holdout also. Because I like to carry these with holdouts. Front right pocket, Holdout would be my jacket pocket, or my vest pocket, my cut. Inside cut pocket where the gun holster is. I love the Tau War. I've always loved the Tau War. Tau Wars are awesome. Awesome knives. Super awesome. Love the Tau Wars. Highly recommend the Tau Wars if you can get these. The 4-inch ones. I know everybody always wants to get the XLs, but the 4-inch one is, I like the way this fits my hand. That's one thing I always liked about the Tau Wars over the other cold steel knives, is that the grips are just right for me. I love the grips. Inspires confidence. Holdout. There's another one I wish they would come back with. Would be the 4-inch holdout. They make the 3-inch holdout and the 6-inch holdout, but they didn't make this one. This one was the most popular one for me, you know, because this size is legal everywhere where I live, so I can't get in trouble for carrying it, and I like to carry it inside my vest all the time. It's always like my backup knife. Absolutely love it. And like this one and this one, this one and this one, you can't buy them like this. You can't buy them all blacked out, all murdered out. You have to buy these came with OD green handles, and then you have to get like the plain ones, and then you swap the black handles with the OD green handles, and that's how you get the murdered out ones. So it takes 2 knives to make one of these. Whereas the Espadas, they come all blacked out. They came all blacked out. Espadas, they made them all blacked out, or they made them with the OD and the black. But with the holdouts and the Tau Wars, they never make an all blacked out version. They just made them with OD green and the black blades, DLC coated blades, but they didn't make them with black handles. All right, here we go. The Big Mama Jamma. Woo! Gotta be careful with this one. I don't have enough space to be flicking it too much. Absolutely love these too. It's a lot of weight though. It's a lot of weight to handle. It's not easy. I know I make it look easy sometimes, but it's a lot of weight to be handling. I'd rather do it with one of these. But this is what I would call a pocket sword. It's like a cutlass or something. It's like something a pirate would have had back in the pirate days. This is a bad mama jamma. I got 3 of these, not all blacked out one. I got the polished one, and I have the Oz 10A one too. The polished one I have is S35VN, and the other one I have is the same thing as this one. Oz 10A, got them at the same time. And this one is the one that Cold Steel gave to me. I had a Oz 8 one of these, the original version, and the handles were all messed up on the inside. And it would go into what do you call it, fixed blade mode all the time. So really, it wasn't put together right from the factory. So I sent it back to Cold Steel, and they had just come out with the new DLC coded CTS-XHP ones. It was a brand new thing. And so they sent this back to me instead of sending me another Oz 8 one. I was like, whoa, because these at that time were like $300 and something, and my Oz 8 one was probably only worth maybe $125 or something like that. So I was like, yeah, no problem. And I've had it ever since. Absolutely love this one. Thank you, Cold Steel. Now, the new kid on the block. Absolutely love these. This is probably one of the best little knives that I think you can probably get. Period. I like this little knife better than any other little knife I've ever owned. This is the best. It's fun to play with. It's good to look at. It functions super smooth, and it's got a super strong lock, like a triad lock. So, this is awesome. I wish they would make the S model all blacked out. The A20, the Dimco knives AD20S. That's the other one I like. I like the S models. The AD20 to me is too heavy and too thick. I'd rather have the S with a 3.2 millimeter blade, in the same size as the regular size AD20. But these knives are awesome. But I would love to have an S model that had like black G10, black DLC coated blade, and the S models have D2. Wouldn't it be cool to have a black DLC coated Magna Cut blade on an S model? Oh man, that would be so badass. Or a crew wear. Oh man, that'd be too cool. Too cool for school. But you know what? If Andrew would make D2 ones, I would go for that too. But I wish he would make them. But I know if Andrew Dimco made a crew wear one in Magna Cut, it's probably gonna cost $600 or $800. So I'll take the D2 one and get it for a lot less. But I want a DLC code. I want to be all murdered out. Because I think a A20S model belongs in this group too. Because I think it'd be a great soldier's knife also. And the people in Ukraine, they need all the weapons and tools of war that we can give them. They need all the help they can get. I know everybody's afraid about going to World War III, but I don't like getting pushed around by Putin. I don't like everybody being afraid of. Every time somebody says something against Putin, you say, "Whoa, you remember I got nuclear weapons," and blah 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 blah. You know, he always pulls a nuclear card and tries to scare everybody into letting him get away with it, whatever he wants to get away with. I'm against that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That bugs the hell out of me. I don't like the fact that somebody can invade somebody's country and nobody does anything about it. Nobody comes to their aid. And Ukraine, to me, deserves our aid because they've been trying to be part of the United States. I mean, be part of the NATO for the last 5 years or something like that. They've been trying to be part of NATO for a long time. Not just recently after they got attacked by Russia. They've been trying to be part of NATO before then. And with all the heart that they've shown after Russia invaded them, 27 days ago, they deserve to be part of NATO. They deserve to be people that the rest of us look up to. I mean, if somebody invades our country, I hope we unite like that. I hope we forget about being Democrats and Republicans, independents, black, white, Asian, Mexican, whatever, Native American. I hope we forget about all that crap. And we just come together as one and we kick some ass. We show them what Americans can do. That's what I feel. And I feel like maybe it's time for Putin to get his ass kicked. But let me shut up. Okay, I'm getting carried away now. But anyway, these are my recommendations for the soldiers. Next comes fixed blades. Fixed blades, I don't have a whole lot of fixed blades. I may have, I don't know. I think I'll do K-bars, my K-bars and my cold steel fixed blades I like. I would take, I think of as combat blades. That's what I'm going to do. K-bars and cold steels. All right. Peace out. Stiletto. That's part, what's this part? Part 2. Part 3's coming up. Part 4 will be all the knives. We're going to discuss about knives I wish they would make all murdered out, all tactical, or set them up for soldiers. You know, make them, set them up so they'd be good knives for soldiers or people in harm's way. Peace. Stiletto. Stay safe.